Hello, my name is Daniel Olson, and this is my video recording for the third homework assignment, the Donkey Kong clone for CSCI 204. I'll go ahead and cover a couple things right off the top, just quickly, or at least hopefully. First off, this one is late by a day, maybe two, depending on how long this takes to upload to YouTube on my internet connection. I guess it is what it is. I started this assignment on Tuesday, because it's my only assignment for the week, but I have enough time, but after working all day on it every day, quite frankly, I was wrong, and that's on me. Had a lot of issues with the ladders, getting the ladders to work and getting the character to actually properly jump while moving downhill. Those are sorted. There's still one or two issues. One of them, I think, is probably my fault. One of them, I don't think is. I could be wrong, but I want to cover that anyway. Just to get as many points out of this assignment as possible. So the assignment specifies that we're supposed to use our own created character, stick-figure character for the player character here, and apply animations to them using bun trees and animation states, using animations from Mixamo. That doesn't work. So Professor Lloyd had this follow YouTube video that he posted for us. This tutorial that tells us how to create this, how to create the armature for this guy here. That was done. Then you're supposed to upload them to Mixamo, make sure that the character is compatible, and then apply some Mixamo, or test out some Mixamo animations with them and demo those animations in the character. I did such. The animations are fine in Mixamo online, but they are not compatible with Unity. Or rather, the animations are, but the character model that we were instructed how to make was not. I'm going to go ahead and reset this just so that I can show it off. In order for animations to work here, you need to have a skin attached to your character. You can have it be generic, legacy, don't know what that one is, or humanoid. Generic is for like non-humanoid things. These need to be humanoid to be compatible with the Mixamo animations, and you can do that by creating that based off of the model that you're working with, such as this character, or from other ones, such as either Unity characters. Neither of these options work. Just showing this off, we get an error here, and the same thing happens for a copy from another avatar. It takes a bit of folder manipulation, so I can do that one just for the sake of brevity here. But basically what happens is, for all the imported animations, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the character T-poses at a weird angle, kind of, on the floor, when he's doing kind of a robot exercise. Doesn't matter if it's triggering an animation, like the horizontal input that's set here on this blend tree. This is just a trial blend tree. My main blend trees I've been creating and deleting and just trying different things, and nothing's worked. This should be a good example. It doesn't matter if this is in or out of the state. The animation just does not play. It plays for other characters from Mixamo, not this one. I think it has to do with the armature that was set up. I think the armature for Mixamo characters is much more complicated than the one that we're taught how to set up, and I think that Mixamo is able to kind of dumb its animations down onto simple armatures. I think that Unity must not be able to. That seems to be the conclusion I've made. I've tried troubleshooting a lot of different things for this. I could be wrong, in which case, I guess that's my bad. Otherwise, I'm going to try and wrangle as many points out of this as possible. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to go ahead right off the bat and just show off which scripts are attached to what game objects, and that's just for the sake of getting it done before I forget anything like it. So in this setup scene here, where the bad guy comes with the beams and then triggers the game to start, the bad guy has a script that causes him to jump up, and then these are empty game objects, just labeled. They contain 3 different copies of a prefab steam beam or garter that I made in Blender. Same thing with the barrels that you'll see later. These all have the beam tilter script, which is disabled. You'll see why that's disabled in the scripts. But that's for all of these guys. And this one is just this one. This one will beam out of 3 just so that this tilts and the rest stays flat, just like a Donkey Kong. Other than that, I think that's everything for scripts in this scene. But if we transition into the main scene, then we can I'll look at scripts here. So the bad guy has the baddie and his script attached to him. Character has the play control, the player controller script attached to him. The game controller has the game control script attached to it. Trigger trials, or wait, that's not how you say that. Wind trigger has nothing. The barrel pile has nothing. That's just prop basically made. Gun system, nothing. Canvas, nothing. Barrel pull, just causes the barrels to spawn in one at a time. Each barrel prefab has a barrel script attached to it. That just specifies things like hitboxes and what does player and whatnot. Barrel destroyer is just a trigger collider that destroys barrels when it comes in contact with it. Barrel walls are these are all invisible, by the way, in the game view. They are invisible colliders that cause barrels to bounce off and stay on the steel beams, and they add a little bit of force just to keep things moving quickly and whatnot. That, actually, there should be one more here. Should be that. There's the game controller scripts here. I'm going to go ahead and show off the start of the game. So you look to start, nothing happens until then, it's just idle animations. But the player jumps up. Or the baddie jumps up. He lands, transitions out of the animation, lands, 3, 2, 1, transitions into this scene. This, from what I can tell, is a Unity issue and not an RME issue, but I'll just explain it anyway. As you can see, it is darker. You can still see everything, but the lighting is just generally moodier. It's a little bit harder to see some parts of the ladders. Perfect for Halloween, but not necessarily for gameplay ability. My understanding is that creating a build of this game, this issue would not come up. Looking into it on Unity forums and reading up on different websites, it seems like this happens inside just the Unity editor, and I wasn't able to find a solution for it that worked for me. That being said, things are still playable, and there's nothing that says that things can't be a bit dark, so here that is. So, as you can see, I can jump over the barrels and earn 100 points. I can climb the ladders. The character animates. You can see him do a running jump, kind of transition into running. You can see walk left and right. He has that kind of whoa movement to his hands when he just does a normal kind of still jump. You can climb the ladder. And then you can see he wins, hooray! Shakes his arms. That should show off the basics here. I'm going to go ahead and move back to the main game scene here. And show off a couple other things. So I'm going to show off the character dying when he touches the barrel. That's one of the requirements. I had some troubles with ladders, and eventually was able to get them to actually work properly. Let's see how the character just flipped through a little bit towards the end. Something about coming to contacts, or turning off the colliders, or the ability to collide for the character when climbing was a bit difficult, and the positioning of the ladders is a little bit weird for a 3D modeled game in on a 2D plane. I mean, the ladders, if you have them behind like this, you know, it gets weird where you're almost climbing through something. If you're in front, then you have to like justify why the character is like twirling around the ladders and climbing up the front, or you have to like have them do the same thing through these back ladders, like go back, and all of those were just funky. So right here, I guess I'm just showing off the character can jump over him. Character touches one, character dies. Flies backwards, you have to click the restart. Game is over. Click to restart, scene reloads, and as you can see, for whatever reason, in this one, it just gets darker. That's fine though. And now I'll show off that when time runs out, the game also ends. That's good. Take a couple of seconds here. Actually, I can expedite this process by editing a variable in the script here. Let me just double check that that's not public. No, okay. So what I'll do, scripts, game controller. This will throw off the timing for the animations. Actually, all won't. We'll say 2. It turns off every 2 seconds. Make sure that the game turns off. Yeah, so that should turn off if it gets below, so that should make this a bit faster. I'm going to go ahead and open this back up, and I'll compile the scripts. Change things pretty quickly. And now things tick down a lot faster. Just for the purposes of this demonstration. As you can see, I didn't change anything else, so the only thing you should worry about is just living long enough for the game to end. Other than that, though, I guess I can talk about a couple of things. You may have noticed earlier, if not, the bonus points are added to the total score at the end of the game. I'm counting down with the bonus points instead of actual time. That's just frankly because I felt like make this a little bit more like normal Donkey Kong. If I were to actually show that I can count down hundreds of seconds and not hundreds of points, I would just have an accumulator variable, subtract the time that delta time from it every frame, and then it hits 0, that's that, and then convert the value to a string when assigning it to the text and updating using the toString method. The parameter for that toString method would be quotation mark, capital D, or 4, quotation mark. D4 just means that assuming that the time is going to be in dozens of seconds, so like 59 seconds or less. I guess, no, it could be 60. I guess 99 seconds or less. It would be 99.7 seconds. Basically, it would be 4 displayed numbers. But other than that, it just counts down. The game is still over once the timer is up anyway. Other than that, you saw the animations working, or at least some of them. The animations are all working for the player for a maximal character, which is the best I've got. There's a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Left and right are used to move. Up for the arrow, the up arrow rather for the ladder. Spacebar for jump. No hammers were used. You're talking about game overs. The barrels spawn in doubles or singles. You saw that. Doubles less than singles generally. There's a setup animation. The finish is detected by getting to that top of the ladder where, like, if it were real Donkey Kong, there'd be like a Princess Peach, or I think it's actually maybe a different character. Not that that matters. Scores are updated. And that should be that. I'll go ahead and close this off. Thank you for your time. Hopefully things work out decently well.